What is going on, guys? Yeah, I'm late. Who got how late are we? Are we 5 minutes late? I apologize. I was rendering a video that let me see if I can do that real quick while I am here. Yeah, throw that one up there. I don't want to either. No. Let's try that again. See if we can get it up there and not play it, because I'm not ready to play it. But I was just get them open either. All right, there we go. That's the one I was just rendering. Not everything goes as planned. Welcome to Happy Hour Live. glad to have you guys here. This is the Deschutes River and Bull Bend Campground. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I didn't check my mic. And I was let me get out of the way here a little bit so you can see this. You know, in 2017 was one of the first videos that I posted, and I'm gonna lead off with that. It's good to get back here. I haven't been back here since. One of my favorite campgrounds in Central Oregon. You're not going to find hookups here. You're not going to find even water here. It is a nice campground, though. If you see people floating by, it's getting a little late in the evening, so it might be a little cooler. It's feeling good to me, though. Glad that you guys could get here. Have we got a lot to share tonight? And let's see if I can start us off with the intro and the video parts, just parts of the very first. It was actually number 4. I think I did a couple 3 before this, but let me go ahead and start this show off with that, and we'll see you in a minute here, guys.
Yeah, how are you gonna change it? Okay, how do we get Bull Bend
Bend into it, and
okay. And it's backwards. Does it look backwards? How come
it does while you're doing this, but when you post it, it shouldn't be backwards.
It shouldn't be backwards? I don't know. All right. We are now. We're at Bull Bend Campground on the Deschutes River in the Deschutes National Forest. We've been here for the 4th of July weekend, and we've been here a couple days. We figured we'd show you a little bit of the campground, and we're going to go and find a geocache. Right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The river wraps around the campground in a big circle. So if you wanted to, and what the kids like to do is hop in their inner tubes at the campsite, float around the river. Oh, we're gonna get run over by somebody over here.
Show that way. That looks nice.
That does look pretty. It's beautiful here. So you can take off floating the river, float around, and we'll wait for this car to go by. Thank you. You float around, you go around the entire campground, and the campground's small, it's only about 11 spaces, but you can go all the way around the campground, and you end up over on this side where you can get out, and you can do the loop again. So literally you can do floating all day long. I don't see anybody floating on the river though right now. People have been floating by all day long, but I'm not seeing anybody. There's dispersed camping over on the other side of the river, and there's always, that's all free camping over there, and it's some beautiful spots over there. For a 4th of July weekend, there's not many people here. So our campground is full, Bull Bend is full, and it was quite challenging getting a spot here, getting the right spot to fit a large motorhome. But there are several spots that
tell me everything I was, 'cause I tried and tried to tell her what I really was. I tried to tell her who we are, just alone. Hello, my silent little love, just too shy to fly on down. Do you hide yourself away? Why don't you let yourself come out? Hello, my precious little love, your eyes are like a pair of jewels. You act as bright as all the stars, and all the sunlight I have seen.
Oh, there we go. Can you guys hear me? No sound, no sound. Everybody's saying no sound. Glad to have you. Sorry about that, guys. A little technical glitch. See, I'm not, we make mistakes all the time. I promise you. We made them. I've got a couple of bloopers here, a little bit of playing around. It wasn't all work over there on the coast, but this is Bull Bend Campground. Love this place. And I thought I was headed back here. You know, it's been years. That was really the last time that I had been to Bull Bend Campground. So you can kind of see it in the back here. But let me go ahead and say hi to everybody who got first in the house. I think it was Mr. Don, way back here, right there from Mount Rainier. Glad to have you here, Don. Miss Jennifer LaFord, glad to have you here. WCRV Adventure. RV Living Life, Gary. We talked about you in a blooper today. It's probably something that won't end up in one of the videos, but it was fun throwing together anyway. So glad to have it on there. And Gary, I think Gary's gonna laugh at me. Gary's gonna laugh at me. Anyway, WCRV Adventures in the house. Glad to have you here. Tigner Adventures. There's Cowboy. You guys were talking a little bit. Let's see if I can scroll on through here. Richard M is in the house. Glad to have you here. Next exit. That's Mr. Bob. Glad to have you here. Oh, hopefully those guys were headed to Tahoe, and I saw their video. Hopefully you saw that battery view up there. And great job on that. Miss Pearl is in the house, of course. Glad to have you here. Scrolling on through here. You guys are having Miss Lamona. How you doing? Glad to have you here. Every now and then you stop by. I'm glad you did. Jennifer Pignon. Jennifer, I can't remember. You had I can't remember where I remember you from. Darn it. Glad to have you here. Mr. Fred ND, no sound, he said. Yeah, hopefully you guys, I fixed that. I got it. Let's see. Joe, the computer guy, not bad. Not at TT in Bend. No, this is Bull Bend. This a little farther up the river from TT. Glad to have you here, Joe. All right. So there we go. Jenny Craig is in the house. Jenny Craig is in the house there. Oh, Jenny Craig, Jennifer Pignon. Okay. Yep. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember where now I remember. Ran into us at the market at the Roadrunner, I believe it was, in Quartzsite, and been stopping by every now and then. Every now and then we run into each other too, so it's been great. Let's see. Boy, you guys, I'll tell you what, it's been a few days left the coast and came back over here. I want to tell you, I wanted to go out and film some more at the coast. Can I just tell you about my day? I left out in the morning. I headed over to, no, you guys are going to laugh at me. And I've already been corrected on it, but I call it Hecata Lighthouse. And I think we'll see. But I went to the lighthouse, it was fogged in. I went to the overlook, it was fogged in. I thought, okay, we're going to head back to Florence, and we got to go to Moe's. And yes, I did make it to Moe's, but I didn't film it. And I wanted to go back to Moe's. Moe's is it's not the best food, guys, but it is kind of what is the best word for it? It's just, Oregonians know, when you go to the coast, you go to there it is, Hecata. It's Hecata. No, I guess it's Hasita. Hasita. But yes, I've tried to make it up there. Oh, so it is something that you just do when you go to the coast. You go to Moe's, and they're all up and down the coast. And I have a favorite, Newport, Oregon. It is a campy little place. It's their original location, and the seats are held together with duct tape, and the food is actually really pretty good. I said earlier, well, they're not that good. Actually, you know what? I love a lot of stuff on there. Changed a little bit since COVID, but I tried to go over to Moe's. Now, Moe's can't be fogged in, right? No. If you saw my Instagram account, I put it on there, closed. And that was the last that I could do. I literally stopped at the grocery store on the way home, and I thought, I'm going to buy some clams. I'm going to get some clams. I'm going to steam some clams. I'm going to have a beer with it, and I'm going to get some firewood. The grocery store was out of clams. Yeah, I got a poor substitute, which was shrimp, and I had shrimp and beer on the fire. If you saw my Instagram, that's what that was all about. Disappointing day. I wasn't able to film my last day there, and I did get going doing the boondocking thing on the way back over to Bend, and including here, and been loving the battery system, figuring out a few things, and it has been working great so far. I tested, guys, one of the questions that I had, and I'll bring this up in one of the videos, was, would my automatic generator start work? And where I'm at now, I'm kind of in the trees. I don't have hookups. I don't have, so everything is running off the batteries. This morning I got up, it was about 25% battery life left on the batteries. And I thought, I just want to see if the automatic generator start will come on. So I plugged in the hot water heater, made hot water with the batteries. Believe it or not, even though lithiums have a flat voltage profile to them, they pretty much run right up in the high voltage. Eventually, when they're being pressed, it went down to 12.2. The automatic generator kicked the generator on. I'm happy to say that if I ever have to or need to rely on my generator start, it will work. I know Bob and I were talking about that a little bit, and We weren't sure because it falls off rather quickly when that power hits that end of that ramp and heads down. But needless to say, I was happy to say that see the automatic generator start come on. That is one of the things, so I can leave the coach and I don't have to worry about it. If I want to leave for a day, if I want to leave the coach and go explore. Also, the generator start has temperature start. I know that will work. And when it gets up to a certain temperature that's preset, it will turn on the generator so that the AC will run in case you have critters, dogs, cats, anything like that living in the place. But oh, it was good to see that. And yes, I did leave for the day. I had a few things to do. So, so that was my last day in at the coast. It was chilly and it was kind of nice. Got over here and we're back to hot and sweating. It's feeling pretty good right now. So, mm, yeah. Yeah. HC Carefree Highway is in the house. And yes, Moe's is well known for their clam chowder, and it is good. And you know what? That's a good one. The Lighthouse Airbus, you have to go to Novelli's for crab chowder in Florence. You're the second person that said that. I passed on Novelli's. I saw it. And now I'm kind of regretting that I passed on that because I've had a couple people tell me Novelli's for the crab chowder. I did stop by there, and it's just a little. It's a little place floating on the water, right there at the docks in Florence. And I didn't stay. I didn't get anything there. Now I'm kind of regretting that. So thanks for that. Next time I get in that area, I absolutely will. So, but and that the same as the project when we got going there, not everything went as planned, and it wasn't all work. We did kind of play a little bit. I'm going to see if I can pull up one of the things. Let's see if is this the one.
I got it.
Yeah, this is it. All right, so let's see if I can just split that for a second here. Now, just to set this up, remember, I have zero experience in making power cables, and it wasn't until I saw Gary's video on making power cables. And I am going to put this in the video. It's not really edited just for this. It's edited a little bit, but I kind of had the wrong idea for cutting those cables, and I'll tell you why afterwards. But yeah, here you go.
We're going to try to cut 4/0 cable, and we don't have a cable cutter, but I do have a Sawzall. So wish me luck. See if we can get through this. Gary, don't stop laughing. I know that Gary's laughing. Okay.
Okay, so we tried that a couple times. Now, Gary knows why you don't do this and why we did not know this, but when you cut it with a saw, it takes all those fine wires inside and it bells them out. And later on, when you try to put anything on the end of those wires, you've got this nice little bell that is not going to allow any of the cable lugs to go on there to actually crimp them on. And suffice to say, no comment. We don't always get everything right, and yes, so we learned our lesson on that, Gary. I figured you'd like that, and yeah, you cannot cut those cables with a Sawzall. I'm just here to tell you, but thankfully we did. I'll just put it out there. I went into town to try to find a cable cutter, and no luck there. Ended up going to Napa, and Napa actually loaned me one of their shop tools, one of their cable cutters from the back, and I had to beg, borrow, and steal. So if you're ever in Napa and they won't loan you their cable cutters. I'm telling you, they didn't want to loan them to me. But thank God they did, because that really made the difference and made it proper. Yeah, worth it to spend the $25 for a cable. I'm cheap, Joe. I'm cheap. When do you figure that out? Uh-huh. Oh, next day delivery on. Not I don't. You okay, my cheap is going to come out even more. You can't have packages sent to TT, to Thousand Trails in Florence. You have to have them sent to Shipping Shack, and they charge $5 more to get packages there. So, you know, that was one of those things that live and learn. We did manage to, and thanks to Napa, they loaned us their cable cutters for one night, and we managed to cut all the cables that we needed for the job, and that was fantastic. Learned our lesson on that, and yeah, this is a learning process. So I love it. I love it. So just in case you're ever thinking, yeah. I Hey, I did patronize them the next day. I bought oil from them. I bought whatever parts we needed. And so yeah, don't cut your finger off. Well, yeah, we didn't do that. I have enough skill with a sawzall that I felt I could make that cut. I just and we did, but you can't put anything on the end of it. So anyway, live and learn. I do have a cable cutter now, believe it or not. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? Don, I've done this before, but where I ran into the problems, if you order and it goes to 1,000 trails that you don't know about, and if they don't take packages, they turn them right around and send them back. And so in this case, I had all of our 4/0 wire, lugs, parts, everything else that would needed to come, and I wasn't sure it was going to make it to Bend. So I had that shipped to the shipping shack there in Florence. It got there a few days before I did, actually. So that worked out great. But yeah, I'm glad that I called Thousand Trails to ask them first, because they would have just turned it around and sent it back. So I know, I see it. Yeah, live and learn. Live and learn. How much you spend. Actually, town is really close. It was, but I know what you mean. I get it. I get it. Did I get a ratchet? No, I didn't get a ratchet cable cutter. You can hold beer in your other hand. Well, that's uptown, Gary. That is uptown. See, you're talking to somebody who's cheap enough already. He wouldn't buy cable cutters, $25 cable cutters. You think that I'm going to buy the ratcheting ones? No, no. Oh, wow. There's another one. $25 for each package. Boy, Thousand Trails has changed over the last few years. Yes, Richard M. We tried the Amazon lockers, and it was the package that was coming in was too big for the wires that we got at that point. I didn't think about the pliers, but yeah, you know what? You got a good point there. I'm going to have to remember that. I have used them. So, yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of agree. How does TT think full timers can live with can live without package, I'm sure. And they will allow RV parts. So part of the address, put RV parts. It works. Oh, now there, there is a tip. I think she did say something about RV parts. I did not want to risk, though, having that sent someplace else. So, oh, yeah, there. You know, I have used the Amazon lockers. I have, and really like those. But I didn't think about it. Live and learn, though. Live and learn. I know. Yeah, I don't mind showing it. Look at silly get harassed for 10 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. If it helps somebody else down the road, I want to help somebody else because I stupidly thought that I could cut those. Well, and I did cut the wire. Technically, I cut the wire. I didn't realize though that they were not going to be usable for the purpose that of making those. So, oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. They let you get medication. That is yeah, you know, that is an important thing. That is an important thing. So good tips out there, guys. Good tips out there. Oh, tonight's show brought to you by Gatorade. All right. Well, it wasn't we we are playing around. And I needed some water. I was getting a little dehydrated, and I want to show you what came out of the woodwork. And we kind of played with that a little bit, but I Gatorade, like you see, Gatorade. All right, you'll see what I mean.
Give me a replay.
I want Gatorade. I want, you know, the stuff they pour over the coach's
What's that
head
pink
at
stuff?
the end of the game.
What's that pink stuff? That looks healthy.
This is not. No, this is.
That looks manly.
Now I feel like I'm in the hospital. All right, this is what they give you in the hospital.
We did some playing around. We had some fun. It was really a blast going out there and working with Bob. And gosh, I really enjoyed it. So, water is better for you. If you notice, let me throw that right up there because look, it's right there.
Give me a replay.
See if they can down there.
I want Gatorade.
Right there. See, we got water. We got water, and yeah, it was coconut water. Guys, what do I do with coconut water? I don't know what you do with coconut water. The water was good, but we had, and then I don't even know what the pink stuff was. So it was fun. It was fun. Probably will not end up in one of the videos unless it goes to the end on a blooper reel or something. But we had a lot of fun out there. Such a fan. Yeah. There you go, Miss Pearl. Pushing the water and the electrolytes, absolutely. And Bob, Don's got it right. Water is better for you anyway. I believe it. So, can you make a drink with it just tastes like coconut flavored water. I don't know what you do with coconut water. Yeah, that's Gatorade. I have Gatorade. If I'm out of my coffee, I have Gatorade. So, no, we had a lot of we had a lot of fun. Vodka and coconut water. Yeah. Okay. I see some shout outs for Palm Springs there. It looks like you can get packages at yeah, you know, anymore now I call them and double check. So you think we had vodka, we had rum, I don't know. We'll have to try it. We'll have to try it and see here. Yeah, it is. And how is that? Yeah, we somehow we well, but it makes more for people, and we pay through the nose for it. We pay. Sometimes we pay more than what it costs for a gallon of gasoline for a bottle of water. Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it. No. Anyway, I think I had. Started. There we go. Take that one down. Take that one down. I. Let's see. TT charges you to sneeze. No, I've been fortunate with Thousand Trails. They've really, I had a conversation with somebody sitting in the hot tub at Thousand Trails over there on the coast, and he was asking if I liked it. I think he was a newer member. He hadn't been with them for very long, and I said, "Boy, if you can tell me someplace that is has a better deal than Thousand Trails, I'd love to hear it." So I've really enjoyed it. Back in the day, there are a few encores on the Trails collection that will charge you for a dog fee. I think there are a few of them that charge dog fees, things like that. It's always been pretty reasonable though. And one thing that you can do with a Thousand Trails membership, I don't know if a lot of people know that, if you need, you don't plan on staying at the park, you don't have reservations at the park, but you need to dump and take on water, you can go there and check in. It won't cost you anything. You can dump, take on water, and TT actually gets paid by corporate. It's a nominal fee. I think it's $10 or $15 from corporate for letting you in and doing that. So yeah, TT is yeah, it's $6,000. I have to say, for the 100 days or so a year that I go into the parks, I know that would be $5,500 to $6,000 easy. Some of them even more. So, Joe the computer guy's he's been keeping track. 32 of the TT parks charge for packages. So yeah, that's not unusual. That's not unusual. But boy, it sure is nice to get them there at the Thousand Trails when you need something. Jennifer says, I love TT. California needs a lot of work. I have not been into California. It has been a long time, guys. It has been a long time. Other than Oglebay Road and boondocking with Tom and Lori over there in Yuma, I have not been into California, and we don't even call that California. That's Oglebay Road. We just say that's an extension of Arizona, and because we drive there and drive back into Arizona anytime we stay there. So let's see. I do want to get back to California, at some point, and may even try to take a trip down there on the way south this year. But I try to fill up in Arizona and then drive into California and then drive back out to Arizona to fill up again. But it sounds like the fuel prices haven't been too bad in California, which I don't really understand that. So that I don't know what's going on with the fuel prices everywhere, honestly. So yeah, don't like the agriculture check. anytime that you're driving into California, you're going to go through the ag stations, and I just wave at them and say nope, and drive on through. I've never had any problem. So, but yeah, there is that. But in the Southwest, driving around there, you'll run into the border checkpoints too. So, Dave, who told you that? Told me what? Let me know. Oh my gosh, I want some of that. Can I please have some of that? The fuel prices are down a little bit. I just paid yesterday coming in, I paid $5.38 a gallon. So that it is coming down just a little bit. Oh, Don, you're probably talking about who brought up the fuel prices. That was at the people were kind of posting what the fuel prices were in California, and I couldn't understand why. Yeah, there it is. I couldn't understand why the fuel prices they were reporting from California, fuel prices were less than in Oregon, which has never happened before. But it's I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. So yeah, check it for yourselves. I haven't really looked it up, but I do use Gas Buddy. It just to kind of see what's happening in the directions where I'm going, just so I have a little more educated idea of what fuel prices are running. I do. Bob and I were talking a little bit this last week about that fuel card, and I think I'm probably going to do that because he was saying the the gas prices suck everywhere except for where Joe the computer guy is. All right, that's all I'm saying. Look at that. I'd love to see 320 again. Oh, please. But yeah, I'm gonna look into that and maybe make a video on that, because if again I said I wouldn't go to lithium. Here we are with lithium. I said I wouldn't go to I wouldn't give up my flip phone. I gave that up a several years ago. Uh, so I will get up to date eventually. I will get up to date. Let's see what we've got here. I've got a couple more videos. Let's see. I don't know if I've already played them or not. Throw that up there. Oh, that one isn't anything. I don't even know what that is. And how about that one? I couldn't get them open either. We're gonna try to cut 4/0 cable, and we don't have a cable cutter. But oh, okay. There we go. No, I've already played those for you. Did it take it up? So the auto gen start, for what I've got, doesn't go by voltage to shut off. It only comes on for voltage to turn on. And that I would love it if it did that. No, it basically will run for the preset amount of time that it's got. I have it still set at half an hour, just because I was used to the generator coming on when I cooked and did anything. Now it doesn't come on unless I really am trying to make it come on. And at this point, it's only coming on for a half an hour. I think it's pumping out about 100 amps. So in that half hour, I'm probably getting about 50 amps during that time. That's something that I still need to address and figure out, if that comes on, how much I want it to come on. So yeah, Life with Letty, glad to have you here. TSD card is great. That's what we're talking about. I couldn't remember the I couldn't remember the name of that, but yes, that is it right there. So Bob said he wouldn't go to lithium either. I believe he said he loved his lead acid batteries, even though they needed replacing. Yeah, I have to say I was holding off as well. So, but I was faced with not having enough power. I needed twice the amount of power that I had. I knew that. And yes, it was either the lithiums, or it was six more golf cart batteries. I'm already overweight on the coach as it is. That I just stopped by a closed weigh station. I don't know if you knew that about Oregon. I don't know about other states. In Oregon, when the weigh stations are closed, you can pull through, and they leave the scales on, even though they're all locked up. They leave the scales on, and it's okay to go ahead, as long as they're not open. Don't do it while they're open. But if they're closed, you can roll into any one of those closed scales and just see what you weighed. And I weighed myself on the way here. I stopped at one, and yeah, I'm not going to say how much, but coach needs to go on a diet. So adding 6 more batteries was just not an option. Oh, there you go, right there. Next, 420 for diesel in Carson City, Nevada, 470 in Medford with the TSD card. And I'd be curious, Bob, if you see what they're doing over in California, if somebody was headed that way. I'm curious if they're cheaper. Medford is in Oregon, and I'm kind of curious if they're more expensive in California still, or what, because I was surprised to see some of those prices coming in from California. Do I have the ME Arc remote? I have a remote that goes on the wall. I don't know which. They have different revisions of that, and I couldn't tell you which one it is, but it is running the Magnum inverter that I've got. It was also running the last Magnum that I have. So yes, I do. Your language is excused. How the hell are you overweight? Yeah, it can still happen. It can still happen, Gary. But it's not because of the lithium batteries. How's that? No, it just I need to pare down some stuff. I need to go through and purge some of the excess weight. I had 2 words, Gary: toolbox, and another word, welder, and another. I can go on. There are things on there that I have that I know weigh a ton, but I'm not about to go without them. And I keep buying more tools, hence the crimper for doing the wires. Now that will get, has been added on to the coach. And so yeah, I'm about a little over 32,000 pounds right now on the coach, and 7,000 pounds on the truck. So rolling down the road, it's pretty close to a $40,000 or a $40,000 pound rig going down the road. So yeah, they just keep getting those tools out. Yes, they do have diesel at select Costco's. I pulled into a Costco one time though, and they didn't have diesel. I waited in line, and once I was in line, I was stuck. I couldn't go anywhere. I don't remember if that made it on a video or not, but I talked about that a little bit. So, and then they have these skinny little aisleways, and I'm telling you, I only had mere inches on each side of the coach to try to squeeze through. They weren't made for coaches. They were made for cars. And yeah, just checked, and a little bit more, almost $1 more in CA than Medford. Okay, and that's normal. That's normal. I kind of expect I'm normal for them. Anything's normal anymore. But yeah, usually California is more expensive. The Arc remote gives you, well, you have the Magnum Auto Start. I do. That is a separate module. And I do know that the remote, I did have to replace my remote so that it handled the gen start. But looking online, I must have an older revision because it doesn't have some of the features that they show on some of the later ones for the things that you can adjust on the on that Arc remote. So yes, Gary, I carry around barbells. No, I don't have barbells. I have no. Yeah, I need to get rid of my flip phone. I did get rid of my flip phone. Now I have a bar phone. It's like talking to a brick. I'm still not used to that. Still not used to that. So far, a little update on the batteries. I have been running about 25 to 30% each night. It goes down, and the other day driving back here, the battery's charged up, but then I don't know, I must have been doing something because I was surprised to see the battery so low this morning, and I thought, well, let's just take advantage of that. And I went ahead and tried the auto gen start, and it did heat up the water, by the way. That worked well. So I'm happy to report that. Let's see here. Gary, you know what? I should get that from you. Never used it. Are you keeping it as a spare, or what are you doing with that? Yeah. There is something for having a gas rig. You know, there's been many years though that we were always cheaper. Remember when gas was cheaper than or diesel was cheaper than gas? Yeah. Okay. Don, you saw the battery bay. Where would I fit 4 more? I I don't. Well, I probably do, and you know, and that's. But I think it was nice of Dr. Repair to pony up 4 batteries. I don't think they would have gone for 6 batteries. So, and honestly, I don't even know where I would put them. So, but you're probably right. You're probably right. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Life with Lenny. Let's see if we can put that up there. The Victron Auto Genstar has a bunch of options. You can set it by voltage, percentage of charge, or draw voltage, and about 3 other ways. Wow, that is fantastic. You know, you never know. You never know. And see, you guys are bragging out there. Joe's got 600 amp hours. We'll see how the 400. I just got the 4, and it'll lay them on their side and stack them. You can do that. You actually, we set the batteries in the bay because I think it's normal for us to do that. And but there's actually some truth to that. You can set these on their side, then it's not going to hurt them, and that is just fine. So you got a point there. You got I was thinking in old lead acid batteries and not thinking about lithiums, and you're absolutely right. Oh my gosh. But so far I've been cooking with electric. I've been guys, I use power, and I don't mind saying I use power, but the last few days I've been using a lot of power, more than I normally do, just because I want to see what the how far I can push them, and that's kind of like what happened last night. I think I did a little bit of baking, I did some cooking, I did, and it took its toll on the batteries. Like I said, it got up this morning, it was about 25%. And I thought, well, let's just see. The battery voltage was still up around 13, as I recall. between 12, 8, and 13. But as soon as I plugged that hot water heater in, it didn't take too long before I saw that that voltage start coming down. And on the Magnum Auto Gen Start, you can set that to come on. The highest is 12.2. It clicked on when I think I had about 18%, and fired up the generator. I was actually really pleased to know that you can still use your Auto Gen Start with that. Says that did worry me, even though I'm trying to get off of the generator, knowing that I can still use that. Yeah, knowing that I can still use that is a relief. So, and there's some truth to that, Gary. Gary, if you've seen Gary's setup, Gary's got a hell of a setup. But Gary is like this electrical, I don't know, guru. All right. I don't have that ability to that level. And he really wanted me to go over to the Victron and dump the Magnum. And I can't say that he's wrong on that, but considering that we're going to be doing a battery install, and there's some things that I don't understand and don't know, and my mind was already flooded with trying to predict what we were going to need for this project. So I went with what I know, and what I knew was that Magnum would drop right in. So thankfully, yeah, no, and someday I may go over that, but to the Victron, because I have heard that it is a lot better. There's a lot better options out there than the Magnums, and that is a fact. I do know that. So don't get no, I don't. It's junk if you have solar. Ask me how I know. Yep. I've actually heard that. So nope, that I do not have that. So it is tempting, though. You want to manage your batteries in every way possible. And see, you need to talk to Gary, because you guys are doing some electrical engineer stuff that, yeah. Yeah, see, and Gary, Gary is still tweaking his Victron setup after 2 years, but you've got a hell of a setup over there. It's a very impressive setup, and I read a little bit and the comments and stuff, that the things that you still want to do to it, and it goes right over my head. So for the purposes of doing the video and I wanted to try to keep it as simple as possible, because I can explain it in simple terms, because it is a simple system. So I didn't want to get Bob and I into trouble trying to figure out a whole electrical system and trying to hook up a Victron. Our time was limited. As it was, it took us 2 days. I think Bob probably would have left if I would have said, "Oh yeah, and we're going to wire in a Victron while we're at it." So yeah, it's probably over my pay grade. Anyway, how is it going out there for you guys? Just reading some of the trying to stay caught up. There now, gosh, it is really feeling great. Take a look at that river out there, guys. Nice and slow. Somebody was actually out there fishing last night and caught some fish. Made me want to go and get my fishing license. So yeah, I don't want to start a fire either. Life with Lenny says, don't have the skills either, but I know a guy in Florida. Yep. give him money and he does the work. And he won't start a fire. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There is so much to learn and so much to do. I am enjoying putting the videos together and kind of talking a little bit about this new series. I think it's only going to be 2 more videos because I think I can wrap it up. Looking at the videos that I've got, I'm going to try not to make them too boring because I know there's not a lot of people out there, or maybe there is. I don't know, but I look forward to getting those videos out. So it's been a fun project, and I know that I was awfully intimidated coming into it because, boy, everything is learning, trying to redo and work with the electrical on a coach. And, let's face facts, you are working with electrical. There's every chance in the world you can hook something up wrong and you can get hurt. You could end up burning down the coach. And, yeah, I do not want to do that. This is my home. So starting a fire is not an option. All right, guys. Well, I think that is about it for tonight. We're going to wrap this up just a few minutes early. So, just taking a look and see. It's feeling pretty darn good here, guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Good to have everybody here, and look forward to seeing you guys next week. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. 111. Who's the 111? I didn't see that. I'm not sure who Gary's talking about there. Somebody, RV getting up 111 in Nebraska. Oof. No. W.S. Griffey, hope to see you in Bend soon. Are you coming to Bend? Absolutely. Hit me up. You've got my email, and definitely let me know. It looks like the Canadian provincial park behind you. It is beautiful here. I just love it. And I was trying to think of where if I wanted to go back to the ranch or not. I did have some work to do out here. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go there and stay. And I remember it. I remember it well. It hasn't changed much. So it's good to be here. Good to be here. Let's see. We'll be here on the 22nd. They'll definitely hit me up. And Bob, Don's coming in too. So look forward to seeing you guys when you get here. All right, guys. I think I'm going to give Don the last say of the night. I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys for being here. If you are not subscribed, subscribe. And I love sharing with you. I love hanging out with you. I love all of you. Glad to have you as part of the show. So we will see you guys next week. We got a little sun peeking out there. Look at that. Right on. Live life full time. We'll see you guys next week. Take care, guys. Good night, all. If we can get this. Have a good night, everybody.